Hey YouTube, this is our 2001 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo, and today we're gonna change the power steering fluid in this thing. If you know anything about these Jeeps, you know the power steering starts to whine really loud after a while. I don't know if there's anything that we could really do short of changing the power steering pump and flushing the fluid completely out. But let's start by just flushing the fluid out, changing the fluid, and see if that quiets it down a little bit. It's kind of windy and kind of cold here today, so we're going to take this into the garage to do it. So let's get this. Here is the power steering pump, and this is the pulley on it, and this is the reservoir. This thing is actually kind of cold, so when we check it, we want to check the fluid on the cold side. Since I just pulled it in, it shouldn't really be warm or anything. Not sure how. Now, brand new power steering fluid should be kind of like a golden color. This thing here is a little bit on the brown side. It is the original power steering fluid that was in this vehicle, so it's probably due for a change. On this thing here, there should be a hot and a cold side. Yeah, here we go, hot and cold. That's where it should be. Since I just brought this vehicle in, it should be closer to the cold side. But it's way past the hot. This thing's over full. So maybe during some service or something, someone filled it up. But we're gonna suck all that power steering fluid out of that using a suction pump, and we're gonna replace it with new power steering fluid. What we actually gonna do is do this a couple times to make sure we get some of the old stuff that is not only in the reservoir and in the pump, but also, you probably can't see it, but also all the way down below there in the steering assembly. I'm just gonna use a siphon pump and a bottle, and I'm gonna just suck all that fluid out, and hopefully it doesn't overfill this bottle. If it does, I'll just get another one. Here's just a quick look at some of the fluid that came out of our power steering pump, and you could see it's really, really nasty. I'm gonna fill this thing up with some Lucas power steering fluid, and I'm gonna run the vehicle for a little bit, cycle some of that fluid out, and then suck it out again to try to get as much of the dirty stuff out as I possibly can. Now, I am not good at pouring, so hopefully I don't make a mess. It hasn't even hit the cold mark yet. I'll put a little bit more in. Okay, time to start this thing up. Turn the wheel a little bit and actually come suck more of this fluid out. I'm gonna flush this power steering fluid out once more, but after running the engine for a couple minutes and turning the steering wheel for a little bit, you could see just from the picture, just from the drop on the rag, that this power steering fluid is much cleaner than what came out of there. I'm gonna run the engine a little bit more just to cycle some more of this power steering fluid from the steering box into the reservoir, and then drain this out and fill it back up once more. And this is the color of the fluid that came out the second time. So it's a little bit clearer. I don't know if you could see it in the video. It's a little bit cleaner, but I'm gonna top it up and just run the power steering through a few cycles, and that'll be it. Alright, right in between the cold and the hot. Just run it through a few cycles. And then the next thing we have to do is to check for any air bubbles that's in there. Okay, I've run this for a few minutes. And let's check this now. This should be warm. Okay, smack in between the cold and the hot. And let's just check the color of the fluid. You could see that this is not quite as nasty as it was before. There's probably still some old fluid left in there, but I won't be able to get that until I run this vehicle quite some time and then come back and do the same thing again. I don't think it made much of a difference in terms of how quiet or how noisy this thing was. Maybe when I shut the hood it might be,